Good morning, everybody. It's Firearms Friday. I've got Mario here. Mario, I've got one story that I was going to start with. It's a bit of a comedy of errors.
Mhm.
And we'll get into that in a minute. But you said you've got some updates on Charlie Kirk.
Maybe just some things developing. They still haven't caught the guy. And it has been what 48 hours, so
Hmm.
it's that's that's not good. I mean, the longer this goes on, the likelihood of him being captured just falls off precipitously. Okay. Um, that said, I don't see how this guy isn't eventually captured. Okay. There's way too much heat. Like no one's going to be able to. No one's going to be able to stay on the run for unless you're fleeing to communist China. Okay. You're pretty much going to get got. Okay, pretty sure even Putin would turn your ass in if you if you tried to flee to Russia.
Yeah, and it,
Um,
it it helps that there's at least we have images of a pretty high confidence person of interest.
right now, regarding that person of interest, just wanted to say, hey FBI, look, I don't need to tell you to monitor 4chan. Okay, I'm sure you're already doing that, right? Okay, particularly poll politically incorrect. Um, but just in case you're not, like take a look at some of these threads that have come out in the last couple of days. All right, we're taking the picture that you provided of the person of interest, and there have been three credible matches identified so far of people who are radical leftist slash transgender ideology. Okay, individuals in the Salt Lake City area who more or less match the physical description of the person of interest you've posted. Okay, three of them so far. One of them is a guy who self-identifies transgender. Okay, and he made a song. He's like an independent artist or whatever.
Oh yeah, I
He
saw
made
that.
he made a song on SoundCloud titled "Charlie Kirk Dead at Age 31." That's the name of the song. Okay, and then promptly deleted promptly deleted his account after the shooting. Okay, and he more or less matches the physical description of the individual. Highly suspicious. Okay. Second, another one is DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America Party. Okay, member, also an active member of the Socialist Rifle Club. He basically he's a lefty. He ran for city council in Salt Lake City, lost, thank goodness. But he more or less matches his active description, matches the description that you posted, that individual. All right. And then a third one, which was released, I don't know about the credibility of this one. This was the day of the attack. It was a transgender radical who more or less matched the description. Basically, Fed posting, okay, on Reddit, of, of course, because Reddit. Fed posting on Reddit about doing something about Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk. Okay, so there's three individuals of interest that have been uncovered by 4chan. So hey, take a look. What do you have to lose? Okay.
Yeah. what what indeed?
Look, man, the power of weaponized autism has actually aided law enforcement in the past. All right, the bike lock individual. Remember way back in 2017, the Battle of Berkeley, right? Between
Yep.
basically, yeah, between MAGA supporters and Antifa. The individual who gave that guy a head injury by clocking him over the head with a bike lock. That guy was identified by Pole. All right, and he got arrested. He got arrested by law enforcement. Okay, another one.
I did a top 10 video, a top 10 countdown video back in like 2020.
Mhm.
At the time, uh, the top 10 instances of weaponized autism being used to aid law enforcement.
Right. Another big one was in this was in 2020 in Seattle. There was a radical leftist. I think his last name was like Lautner or something. I don't remember the exact details. Anyway, in the course of a riot there, a an Antifa guy shot a Trump supporter, just point blank, just iced him in the streets. Okay, of Seattle. and based on a particular neck tattoo the Antifa terrorist had, 4chan was able to locate his exact identity. Okay, and posted it all over the
Yep.
website. All right, and he was later apprehended, and he's doing life. So yeah, the weaponized autists are your friends. Okay, support your local autist.
Patrick says, and I've seen this too. Patrick says I've seen several stories of people getting fired for their comments
Yep.
on the matter.
Yep.
I saw one guy. I hadn't planned on addressing it directly this morning, but I saw one guy. So I don't remember his name, but I saw one guy who basically said he's taking the rest of the week off or the next week off or whatever, and he's basically doom scrolling through Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky, especially Blue Sky. God, Jesus Christ! How much have you seen out of Blue Sky?
It's completely it's
It,
fucking toxic. Okay, it's
it
like
is.
It's Reddit concentrate.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's basically Twitter that it's basically a version of Twitter where the number one getting banned condition is not being actively a left wing terrorist.
yeah, pretty much.
If you are not a left wing terrorist, you're not welcome on Blue Sky. That's what it's for.
You have no place here.
Right.
That's right.
But this cat is basically doom scrolling through all the major social media and finding the people that are doing the Charlie Kirk celebration dances and selling the Charlie Kirk murdered T-shirts and shit online, and then he's identifying them and figuring out where they work and sending emails to their bosses like, "Hey, your employee is doing this. I've seen a few U.S. service members getting called out. Hey, look at this look at this petty officer, look at this sergeant
Yeah,
saying that he's glad Charlie Kirk got murdered and we're coming for the rescue. Yo, sec war. This one's got to go.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the left. The left can't help but like show their ass. Okay, for some reason, they don't have that ability to like reserve their emotions. Okay, reserve their thoughts. Right. When it's and I think it comes from them existing online, essentially in echo chambers, where the most vile of ideas are constantly reinforced to each other.
Uh-huh.
Where like essentially blood libel against their enemy, okay, is manifested, and it's no surprise. Plus, they've had with the Biden administration for 4 years, all of that stuff was honestly passively, if not actively, supported by the administration. Not by Biden, of course, because he has tapioca pudding for brains, but by the legion of underlings, okay, within the bureaucracy that supported anti-right wing hysteria. Um, there's a group of people out there, significant number. There are millions of people, millions of Americans who honestly believe that January 6th was an attempted coup against the United States government and the worst attack against America since Pearl Harbor. Okay, there are millions of people in this country who honestly believe that because they've been fed a constant drip of media misinformation, and now their minds have been effectively destroyed, and the cognitive dissonance is basically hardwired into their brains. You can't. They're like Yuri Bezmenov said. They are utterly contaminated. You cannot
Yep.
help them. You cannot save them at this point. The best thing you can do, they just have to be ignored to the point of irrelevance. Okay, or have their platform removed. But yeah, you see them like I mean, a lot of them are a lot of them. I read an article before we went live. List like 10 people, okay, um, who got fired as a result of celebrating Charlie Kirk's death online. You know what? You know what I found odd? Well, it's not odd to me, but like half of them are public school teachers. No surprise, right?
Yeah.
No surprise. It's the anyone public school teacher might we might need to make that kind of like a jury system where you just get selected for it, okay, and you do your time maybe for a year, all right? Because the people who want positions of access to children, unfortunately, in our sick and broken culture, are invariably people who want to actively harm the children, right? whether it be radical leftists who want to spread their ideology, or that's and that's the best case scenario, or perverts, essentially perverts who want access to the children, all right, to groom them.
Right.
So we've got a serious fucking problem in the public school system in this country, and we have for a long time. And that's why Americans are increasingly homeschooling. It can't be reformed. So deny it. If it cannot be reformed, then you have to starve the public education system. How do you starve the public education system? By denying it children. All right. Hey, look at that. We got Cade. A rare
Yeah,
Cade
I was
sighting.
about to
Buck
say
Wild.
we don't see old Cade pop up very often. It's good to see you this morning, brother. I was just waiting for Mario to shut up so I could say hello.
All right, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up and read some of these chats. Okay. Go right ahead with the Lowry monologue.
Well, let's get into our first story this morning. So, before I pull up the article, I started seeing some twitterings late yesterday evening, that there was an active shooter at Annapolis. Like, oh Jesus, here we go. Got a mass shooter at a military academy. Like, oh, wait a minute. So here's what happened. Midshipman injured after mistaking law enforcement for shooter during lockdown at Naval Academy. Okay, and that headline still reads kind of bad. The headline still sounds kind of bad, and I mean, it's not a good situation. But it looks like what we had here was, in fact, a comedy of errors, which I will blame, at least in part, on the Charlie Kirk incident. Which, by the way, and you know, fair play, there hasn't been much coverage, but there was a school shooting in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Like, as the Charlie Kirk situation was developing, there was a school shooting in Colorado that apparently had two casualties as well. And then yesterday, okay, Patrick sent stuff. Gotcha, Patrick. I'll pull that up in a minute too. So the midshipman injured after mistaking law enforcement for shooter during lockdown at Naval Academy. It says a midshipman was injured after mistaking law enforcement for an active shooter after misinformation spread online, according to a U.S. Navy official. The Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, was locked down Thursday after threats were issued and concerns of an active shooter. Sorry about that, guys. I had to fix the microphone real quick. And concerns of an active shooter posted anonymously on a chat platform, but there was no active shooter on campus, according to communications from the school's commandant seen by CNN. According to those communications, the midshipman was injured due to misinformation that a shooter was posing as law enforcement and clubbed a base security in the head with his parade rifle and was then shot in the arm. Both are receiving treatment. The commandant warned against disinformation in his message and said everyone else was safe, but said it was part of multiple false reports nationwide of active shooters, which the FBI is investigating. A statement early Friday said the Naval Academy has since been given the all clear. One person was injured while naval security forces were clearing a building. One person has been medevaced with injuries. They're in stable condition, reads the statement from Naval Support Activity in Annapolis. The academy was closed to the public Friday, according to a subsequent statement. This is a developing story and will be updated. So, Patrick says, howdy, Cade. Get over to Rumble. Hey, Mario, go ahead and bring your camera back up when you can. So it sounds like, I was thinking about it a little more as I was reading it. So what happened here is an anonymous poster went on chat boards, message boards. It didn't specify which one he went on. I can tell you that the Navy uses Discord and Signal. And for hell, we saw with the Hegseth controversy earlier this year, we've got government officials and military coordinating activities with Discord and on Signal, which, without giving away too much of the pie, I mean, we have other communications infrastructure for that. I mean, there is such a thing as high side communication.
I don't.
Right.
I got off.
So I find that deeply obnoxious. But what appears to have happened is somebody basically ran a hoax, cried wolf online, and it hit hard enough that the school went into lockdown because somebody online was saying that there was an active shooter. There was no active shooter at Annapolis yesterday.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. But
what happened was an expelled student showed up, and then some people probably got nervous that he was going to be an active shooter. So they made the presumption that he would do so and called the police. Okay. Then the cops show up, and then the Benny Hill music starts playing in the background. Okay.
Yeah. And from what the report there said, the statements online about the active shooter said that the active shooter was dressed as a security officer. Guys, that's some dangerous shit.
Don't trust anything off Discord.
Right? I mean, how hard would it be? How hard would it be? Not okay. Imagine what you want to do is you personally want to kill all police officers. And so you go online and try to convince other people that they want to kill police officers with you and encourage, hey, let's all go kill all the cops. Okay, that'd be hard. It would be very, very difficult to convince other people to go and murder police officers with you. But if the thing you want to do is get a bunch of cops killed,
yeah, put out
and you start convincing people that there are bad guys out there that are pretending to be cops, and oh, by the way, even though their uniform is fake and their badge is fake, that gun is real.
Yep.
So there's only one thing you can do, people. And y'all, as much as this story, we can joke about it a little bit and tell it like it's a comedy of errors. And to an extent it is. Constant vigilance is the watchword, guys, because if somebody's trying to convince you that random cop who's a person you don't know is not a cop, and under that not a cop exterior, he is a threat with a firearm. We're looking at some scary shit there.
Well, yeah, it's under the same umbrella as, say, like swatting, all right, where you are intentionally creating a deadly situation based on false claims, okay? And if you do shit like that, it should be treated, honestly, charged as terrorism or terrorism adjacent, okay, with heavy jail time, okay? That type of behavior,
terrorism and attempted murder.
Yeah, you cannot tolerate that shit, okay?
No.
TPS report mentions, I tuned in a bit late, but you're tracking the Sky Valadez. Yes, we talked about him earlier. Sky Valadez is the individual who had the SoundCloud song.
Yes.
Charlie Kirk is dead at 31. Okay, yep, we're tracking.
No,
I got like images and stuff from his. If you're interested, I can send it to you. Just let me know.
We probably won't put them up this morning, but do send them.
No, I'm at the TPS report. If he wants it, I can send it to him.
Oh, gotcha. What the hell is going on over here? Okay. That's okay. Got it. So what?
You just posted posted the agency from the movie.
Yes. I think I was trying to post that the other day, and I just noticed it was just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to hit enter and clear it so that I could open up the article that Patrick sent.
One of the best acronyms ever, unfed.
Yes. And that was actually burned. That was all burned.
Yeah.
I mean, I did all the graphic design. I made the image what it is.
Well, we talked about it too much without providing any context to the audience, so you might as well.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay. Here, I'll tell them what it is. We all of us with the Brush Fire Mind group. Okay, we got together IRL in when was it? 2020 was it 2020 or 2021? 2020. We were going to shoot a homemade movie. Okay, about.
Oh, we shot it.
Yeah. Shoot a homemade movie. All right, indie film, basically COVID, government tyranny related, adjacent, whatever. It never got finalized. Okay, but this was the insignia of the bad guys from the movie.
Yeah, and when Mario says this was the insignia of the bad guys, we put it. I actually made magnetic decals, and we used some of our vehicles that look, the more Fed looking vehicles. In fact, we put it on Patrick Brown's pickup truck, good gunmetal gray F-150. Put this on it and put emergency lights on top of it. Funny story. We were shooting it's not a chase scene, really. Two of our guys are basically sitting in a different pickup truck, kind of hiding in the woods when the Fed truck drives by. They're kind of hiding out, waiting for it to pass, and then they pull out and go the other way. So you've got the truck going, you've got the lights going. When we shot this, of course, we're on this backwater country road, and we're on the side of the highway with cinema cameras and boom mics shooting this, just trying to get that one shot. And we got the shot. It was a great shot. But then we went down the road and pulled in. There's a metal fabricator down the street from there. We pulled in and asked those guys if we could park a couple of cars in their parking lot so that they'd be, hidden from the shot that we were trying to get. And those guys told us, Sergeant Major says Dad still has one of these on his refrigerator at home at the farm. But they told us that they've been getting phone calls. Yo, there's some shit going down in the woods over there. We've seen cop cars all over the place. And, like unmarked police cars and some kind of federal department, and there's a news crew out there with cameras, and like, no, that's not what's happening, guys. That's not what's happening.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you got dudes in a fake emergency services vehicle, carrying a bunch of airsoft equipment. All right, with cameras. Yeah, it's yeah. Someone called Department of Homeland Security. We got him.
You're talking about raising blood pressures, walking around with airsoft equipment, Mario. That reminds me of. You remember that one airsoft place we used to go to that was in like.
Can you go back to the logo real quick? I want to just to point this all out for the audience here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So everything about this is professional. This is perfect. Okay. So United Nations Federal Emergency Department, aka UNFED. Okay. Funny. Then you've got a inverted 5-point star. Okay. So 5-point star facing upright in I don't know, paganism and whatever. I mean, it basically represents man. Okay. Man upright. Okay. It's a symbol of power. Okay. And then you got the inverted star, which represents the hanged man. All right. So that's that. So it means oppression there. Okay. Evil, essentially. And then De Libero Oppresso is basically a play on De Oppresso Liber. All right. From the Green Berets. So from oppression, freedom, except for unfed, it's from freedom, oppression. So perfect work. Perfect job there.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of it. I spent a few minutes thinking about it. But yeah, you
just
mentioned people
just giving
seeing.
you a little fluff up there. Okay,
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
little
But
fluff.
you
All right?
mentioned people looking
Just
at the seeing the
just a
equipment and
tip.
everything and having a little freak out. You
Yeah,
remember walking, there was that one airsoft place we used to go to in Hawaii that was in like downtown.
yeah,
I want to say it was in Waimanalu. It was all indoor, close quarters battle type of stuff,
yeah,
and there's no street parking, right? We had to park down the street and walk, like a block to
yeah.
the spot. But it's a super touristy area with a bunch of little
It's a
boutiques
walk
and
at like a
restaurants.
45
Yeah, and
degree slope.
it's on a steep ass hill.
Yeah,
we would get there. We would get there, and we would meet like 5 or 6 other dudes in the parking lot. And I have a set of hand trucks that flop down into a flat cart, and we would
yeah,
stack like 6 or 8 flipping rifle cases with all with airsoft rifles in them, and there's a crate on top of the case with with claymore mines and hand grenades in it, like visible in the crate. You can see the claymore mines and hand grenades, and we're all dressed in all black with our tack vests on, right? Pistol holster, mounted pistol holster or drop mounted pistol holsters, walking down the street through this tourist trap in Hawaii, and and of course back then we were still active duty, so we had the horseshoe high and tights and clean shave, kitted out like we're about to go do some work,
yeah.
just walking down the street in in the touristy part of North Honolulu. We got some looks.
Yep. Red flag here. Okay.
We used to go to the little burrito joint across the street
I
dressed
was
like
going to say
that.
that was we had to get the burrito, the BC burritos, I believe they were called.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good stuff. That play anyone who plays if anyone in the audience has played airsoft, okay, there's 2 types of airsoft. There's like where you got like a big field, okay, and people can spread out and kind of do some tactics, some maneuver, you know, uh, do maneuvers, all right. And then there's like CQB, close quarters battle, right, where you're in an enclosed space. This place was very close quarters. I mean, the whole facility, okay, the whole facility to include administration, the gift shop, and the battle space was maybe like 1,000 square feet. Okay, so you're in there. It's not like in a field match where like someone shoots you from like maybe 50 yards away or something, and you're like, oh, ow, okay, you got me. All right, walk off the field. No, this is like up close and personal. When you get hit, okay, in this little battle space, you're getting greased at point blank at like with
Yep.
automatic weapons at like 300 feet per second. It sucks. I've seen dudes actually to ooh, I get to use a zoomer expression. I've seen dudes crash out like hardcore, okay, because they got lit the fuck up at point blank range.
Yeah. I got all the meat blown off of my pinky knuckle one time. It was pretty gruesome.
There was
Good
one day.
game though.
There was one day Chris and I did. We did duelist practice. Okay, where we stood there, facing each other down and did like quick draw, just repeatedly shooting each other at like point blank range. Good times.
you know,
Many, many whelps.
after,
Many whelps.
after I got out, I bought a contractor trailer and I built a gun shop in it for the airsoft guns. I used to go to gun shows, and I would set up an airsoft shooting range outside of the gun shows, because here in Georgia, it's not uncommon for a gun show to have a line out the door with people waiting to pay their entry fee and get checked, and get in.
Mhm.
So I'd go set up the airsoft shooting range, and I'd have like saltine crackers and silhouette targets on a hanging line with a clear backspace. I just put a bunch of good looking airsoft guns out on a table, and I'd charge people, $10 to come up and get a little red cup full of BBs, about 150, 200 BBs. And, yeah, take, here's your loadout. go to town, pick a weapon. You know, you could put them all in this. You could put them all in the Sagio lever action and take your sweet time, and it'd take you all day to spend 200. Or you could put them in the 240 Bravo and be done in a half a second. And people were coming up and paying me for those, and I made a pretty decent haul running that little side gig. But one of the things I did while I was out there, I mean, put on a show. So I'd have my old airsoft game gig on with a holstered pistol on my hip, and I was offering, hey, I'll put $100 on the table. Anybody want to quick draw me? And nobody wanted to play. It surprised me. And I mean, I was like, I had sanitizer wipes and face masks, right? I had the safety kit out there for him. It's not like I was asking him to do something extremely stupid. It's like, no, here's a full face mask with a metal cage to protect your teeth and eyes. Here's a quick draw holster. Slap it on. Let's go. Pick your pistol.
You mean to tell me, Chris, that you used that opportunity, okay, to be a self-aggrandizing showman? I don't.
Absolutely.
That is not you, okay?
Absolutely. And you know what? More often than not, what would happen is I'd challenge people going in the line. Patrick was there for some of these. I would challenge people standing in line. I was like, hey, quick draw, come on. And they'd, no, I couldn't. And then
do it.
And then they'd come over and buy a cup and shoot at my targets. They wouldn't do the quick draw, but they'd sure enough come hand me money and play the game. So,
all right, enough about airsoft.
Yeah, that's a good long tirade we've just had.
That's right. Sergeant Major says that the fish are not biting, and archery
because it's deer season tomorrow. Archery season for deer.
Okay.
So this one comes to us from Patrick. Dropped this one. Police say they seized 23 guns from the home of a 13-year-old who appeared to idolize mass shooters. Jesus, Patrick, what? Okay, Seattle. 13-year-old boy who police
read it in advance. Mm-hmm.
Say again?
I read it in advance, so yeah, it's there's nothing. Go ahead, it's fine. There's nothing.
Okay. To be fixated on school shooters was arrested on charges of unlawful firearms possession and making a threat after they say they found social media posts about intentions to kill and seized 23 guns and ammunition from his home. The boy pleaded not guilty to a total of 5 charges, 4 of them felonies, in juvenile court on Monday, and he was ordered to remain in detention.
Yep. Don't really like the idea of feds coming in and seizing all the weapons in the home for a crime that hasn't occurred yet. I find that pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
If you read further into the article, I mean, I don't know. There's no mention here of a father. Okay, no surprise. But it looks like all these weapons were in the home, and pretty much they're not even secured. Like the kid, 13-year-old, just had free access, okay, to that arsenal that you see listed there, which is probably not a good idea. Which is definitely not a good idea. Okay, I could see maybe a 13-year-old trusting them with like a single firearm. Okay, but I mean that really, you need to use maximum parental discretion before you give your child lethal force. Okay, because what's more likely to happen than not is if you give a kid a gun. If anyone's going to get killed by that gun, it's going to be your child itself, whether it be accidentally self-inflicted or intentionally self-inflicted because they had a, teenage meltdown like online with their shitty fucking friends. You know what I mean?
Well, and here's this. You'll notice it's not a white kid. We know it's not a white kid because the headline doesn't say white kid. It says home of a 13-year-old. So right. You're right, Mario. There is no mention of a father present. Mm-hmm. This is weird. This is a weird story because, like Sergeant Major asks, who really owned the guns?
Yeah, his mom. Like, I don't know.
What? Because I mean, you're not trying to tell me that this 13-year-old bought or stole or even stole.
Certainly
Are you
not.
talking about a 13-year-old kid stole 23 guns from somewhere?
Come on. No.
Bought 23 guns on his own, managed to track down, because okay, so if the 13-year-old bought them himself, where did he get the several $1,000s to buy these illegally? Because he's 13. In Washington, he absolutely bought them illegally if he bought them, which is, I'm not saying that he did.
He didn't
If it
buy.
were the case that he purchased them himself.
He didn't buy them. This is a situation where either the father, all right, it's either the father's collection and the father's not mentioned in the story, or it is a situation where, let's say, I mean, we do this from time to time. Like, someone's going to be out of state for a while, someone's going to be gone on business. They'll, instead of leaving like the weapons at home, essentially unsecured with no one in the house, you'll take your stuff and drop it off at your relative's house. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, can you hey bro, hold down my gat while I'm gone. You know what I mean? That's not uncommon. It could be basically where the whole family kind of has their weapons, because say this home's maybe out in the suburbs, whereas everyone else is urban, and it's a nightmare to try to keep that arsenal there. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, I'm assuming somebody legally purchased them at one point, but it's yeah. But anyway, just weapons scattered willy nilly around the house is apparently. So I don't know. I'd like to know the racial background of the individuals here. That might be that could be telling. Just kind of give me a general cultural thematics. Okay, like if this is like a trap house, okay, with a bunch of thugs, then yeah, guns strewn about everywhere. That kind of makes sense, right? If it's a single white mother and her white son, then all those weapons strewn about. That's, I mean, that means that basically means one thing. It means that the mother is probably on all kinds of prescription medication, and literally just can't. Okay, and it just the 13-year-old has essentially run amok and has basically taken over the house. Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah,
all speculation.
That's a bizarre story, and
source, bro, I made it up.
Yeah, like, hey, my 10-year-old, he has access to a rifle constantly, always.
Yep.
A Daisy Red Ryder BB carbine, right? That's his gun. And we've gone over, this is how you handle it safely. And if you want to go out and shoot some tin cans, I've got a string of tin cans, coffee cans hanging up in the back there for him to shoot at, and he does. And he's turning into a pretty solid little marksman. And he's not going to be a mass shooter. He's not going to be a school shooter. He's not going to be assassinating political figures because, well, he grew up with a father.
Yep.
And a healthy respect for the weapon.
Whoa! Why does this shit always happen while we're live? Why?
Whoa!
Why? You have to give me time to process this.
Okay.
All
right, guys, y'all are about to watch this happen in real time.
Apparently the suspect has been captured. Okay. Nope, I got nothing on revolver. JF Brian, is this like right now happening? JF Brian? Is this right now? Because
yeah, Jason, you got a link you can send me, maybe?
Sauce me, bruh. Sauce me.
Yeah.
Trump announced it live on Fox.
Okay, guys, stick with us a minute. This may be happening right now.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Okay, stick with me a second, guys.
I don't have it. Well, thanks for the tip, JF Brian. But apparently, this news might be too new to run with.
On the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think, with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say,
All right, bear with me
I
a second.
think, just to protect us all, and so
I'm
Fox
gonna let
doesn't
it
get
play one more
sued,
time.
and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think, with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think.
Okay. Mario, did you find anything else yet?
I'm going to. Hold on. I'm going to 4chan. All right. President Trump says, yeah. They're just repeating what Trump said.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to Fox News, breaking news updates.
Go get married. Sounds old fashioned when you think about it, but he's right. He was just on. And it's a shame that voice has been stopped. But I think from what I see, he had I got to know a lot of his people. He had great people. And that includes his wife. She's very talented. He said she's the best writer he's ever seen. She's a writer, among other things. So maybe they can really keep it going.
So, Mr. President, was it a one-off? Was this guy that assassinated Charlie?
It seems to be.
He wasn't a part of a bigger network or anything that we know
Well, you don't know. I mean, you don't know. I hear these people talking so badly about me and others. I'm a guy that just wants to make America great again. We want to look at what we did in D.C. We took D.C., probably the single worst place in the country in terms of crime. There's no crime. It's a crime-free area. I went to dinner the other night, stood out in the middle of the street, did interviews with you guys, but I did interviews right in the middle of the street. If I did that 6 months ago or a year ago, I would have about a 30% chance of being here to talk about it.
We're getting shouted down.
And it's amazing. D.C. is now a great safe. Now we're fixing it up physically too. We're putting in new medians. We're going to give everything a little.
Okay, so I think Aaron Olson says it happened before he went live, according to BBC. So he probably doesn't know any more than he's been informed that they've got somebody in custody. So he's not going to have much to say about that. Aaron Olson says someone close to the shooter turned him in. Aaron, send receipts, buddy.
That's what I'm getting here. It looks like a pastor and the father of the shooter turned him in. Okay. That little nugget is what I've gleaned. Here, let me post this freak. I just posted an image. Can't confirm. But that may be the person of interest.
Okay.
I mean, it checks out. It's about what I'd expect. The Sky Valadez was more compelling information, though. The jawline seems weaker than the individual, than the FBI photo.
Yeah.
I still think it's the Sky Valadez. I wish they'd give us a frickin' name. Some people are out, Mr. Trump, some people are out here live trying to do this hard mode, okay?
Yeah.
Throw us a bone.
We working.
Ronnie, I voted for you 3 times. Give me something to work with here.
Okay. Uncle Steve says FBI is making a statement live on Fox. Okay.
This is what happens, folks, when you do your live show before the actual morning news drop. Okay, you get you get caught with your pants down. All right.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Did I just lose Mario? Guys, I think we just lost Mario. There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what I did there. Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay, I'm looking for Fox News Live. I'm not seeing it. So, okay, guys, stay tuned for more updates, I guess.
Yeah, you're going to know something within the hour. Okay. Sadly, you're not going to hear from us. But anyway, thank you.
Who knows? I got a little bit of time. I got a little time before I got to leave the house this morning. If something interesting comes out, I might just pop up. But
yeah, thanks for stirring the pot, JF Bryan. Okay.
Yeah, no shit. All right, guys.
A case of the vapors.
I guess we're gonna button it up real quick and call that a day, and we'll let you know if we get any more news, any more compelling information on this topic. So, Mario, before I put a pin in this one, let me go ahead and hit these 36 people, because I want you guys on Rumble. I want you guys, get the hell off of YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Come watch us on Rumble. In particular, we're going into the weekend now. So tomorrow is Saturday, and we'll be doing one of our deep dives tomorrow at 2100. To watch the deep dive, you've got to be a Rumble Premium member. Now, periodically, I give away free Rumble Premium subscriptions. I gave one away this morning and went to Santa Steve. Gave away a half a dozen yesterday. And tomorrow, when we go to do the deep dive, we're going to be deep diving on 9/11, right? We'll be live on all the platforms. So all you freeloaders out there on YouTube and Facebook and X, you'll have the opportunity for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the show. We will be on all the platforms. And if you're logged in on Rumble, watching live and leaving comments in the live chat before we start the giveaways, then you're entered for a chance to win a free month of premium. And it's my pleasure to give that away and help you guys kind of shed the shackles of the shekel machine that is the YouTubes and Twitter and all that. So come check us out tomorrow at 2100, right? So you get you over to Rumble. And you probably noticed Rumble's growing fast. And it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first, us, right? We're able to do this because we make a buck doing this with Rumble. Protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. And that gets you Dr. Disrespect, Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, all behind the paywall, Russell Brand, all great content. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. And that's us, right? Plus, premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal, right? While the enemy is out there trying to shut down free speech by murdering your favorite politicians, political figures, by literally killing people to shut them up, Rumble is letting us say the N-word behind closed doors again, right? Yeah, think about the statements. Think about what I just said there, right? That feels like an additional freedom. So yeah, get your asses over to Rumble.
That's right.
And join the fight. So
the forbidden word of magic and power has now been unlocked. Thank you, Shiloh Hendricks.
It's like we unlocked a feat in our
That's right.
dungeon campaign.
Yep.
You can now use unholy strength.
And it's a whole separate class. N mage.
Hey, and Aaron Olson points out Charlie Kirk was an early investor in Rumble. Join Rumble for Charlie. Join Rumble for Charlie. So, safety brief. Here's your safety brief, guys. Going into the weekend, there's a whole wide, beautiful world out there, and I think you ought to go out and see it. But understand that whole wide, beautiful world is peppered over this great nation with deranged sociopaths and spiteful mutants who will murder you for no more reason than it pleases them to do so. Who hate you for no more reason than that you don't kill children recreationally. So before you step out, strap out.
Yeah,
Be calm and carry one.
I've been staring at stuff as it comes in here, just hoping that I might get something decent here, but tis not to be. So,
all right.
Hope you all enjoy the show.
You guys be safe out there. Stay strapped or get clapped, because we love you and we want to see you tomorrow.
Ciao.
Tomorrow, 2100, guys. Be safe.
I said ciao.
You did say ciao.
I did.
And then I said another thing. I know. I fucked up the whole flow. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Admonish me. Admonish.
I pardon you, okay?
Mea culpa, mea culpa. Maximo mea culpa.